Good boy.
Hey you guys, so today is Monday, September 23rd. It's like 7:30 p.m. and I thought I would go ahead and start a weekly reading vlog just because I had so much fun making and editing mine from the last week and a half. I think this week's reading vlog is going to be a little bit more cozy because we finally got some rain, and I think it's supposed to rain a few more times this week. It's supposed to chill down to like 80 or less. I'm so excited about the chillier weather. That's definitely still warm, but it's chillier than it has been, so happy for that. So let me go ahead and tell you about the books I'm reading right now. So of course we are still reading Hellbent. I am 56%. I would love to finish this in this reading vlog, but I also said that last time, so who honestly freaking knows. I don't have a ton more to say about it at this moment in time because I haven't read it in a few days. And that is because I picked up my book for book club. It's called The Animators by Kayla Rae Whitaker. I had never heard of this book. I am liking it, but I also don't have a ton of thoughts at this point, I don't think. I am on page, let's see, 168 out of about 370, and I basically put down Hellbent to get to this one because book club is always the first Tuesday of the month, so it'll be next Tuesday, October 1st, and I just hadn't started it, and it was kind of I feel like a longer book for me to pick up, and I didn't know how slow, how fast the pace of the book was really gonna be, so I just randomly started it maybe over the weekend, I think, something like that, late last week. So basically when I need to get through a book, whether I'm liking it or not, and there's a certain day I need it done by, I always just take the page number and divide it by the amount of days I have to make sure that I get it done by let's say book club or whatever. And it also just makes reading the book just more digestible because it's usually in smaller bits, because I usually do it early enough where I'm not reading a million trillion pages in one day. So for this I need to read about 29 pages a day to be done by the time book club comes around. But yesterday I made the mistake of not reading at all because we were gone all day. Wasn't really in the mood to pick it up, so I didn't. So today I have to read around 60 pages, which I'm not the most excited about, but I am already almost done, so I do feel good about that. And it is really good. So let me go ahead and give you a brief premise. So we're following two women in their adulthood, Mel and Sharon. They're both animators. They met in college in art school. They're both from, I'm gonna say broken homes, a little bit of just chaotic backgrounds. Melody, as in Mel, grew up, stopped speaking to her parents, her mom's in jail. She ends up writing along with Sharon because they work together also. This animation kind of depicting her childhood and her mom's life and that whole thing. And then this crazy thing happens to Sharon partway through the book. And now we're delving way more into Sharon's past with her kind of crazy family and some crazy experiences she had when she was younger. I think I'm just feeling a little I don't have tons of thoughts. I am liking it, but I just can't really see where it's going or necessarily what's the point, which is fine. Not every book needs to have a point, but I am just kind of oh yeah, it is what it is. I feel I'm never wanting to pick it up, but I'm also not disliking my experience so far. And I think it was written in 2017, I think. And when I went to look up reviews, add it to my want to read and all that on Storygraph and Goodreads, it looked it had pretty high ratings and reviews. So now I feel when I finish this, I kind of want to delve into some of those, see what the heck was going on, why was it such a big book at the time, because yeah, again, I'd never heard of it, but I also wasn't really seeking books out like this when I was I think I would have been in early college then. So yeah, there's that. And then over the weekend I also started a Kindle book, which I got this off of NetGalley, so we'll see how that one goes, but it's called Gut Check: Unleash the Power of Your Microbiome to Reverse Disease and Transform Your Mental, Physical, and Emotional Health by Stephen R. Gundry, who's a doctor apparently. I'm 10% through. So yeah, I am liking it, but I will say any sort of like health or wellness book, I always feel like I'm like pretty skeptical of, even if the author is like a doctor or like an expert in some sense, just because I feel like with science, almost anyone can find information that can at least sort of back up what you're wanting to say, and so sometimes I feel like these books are very misleading. Like this already being like a chapter or two in, you can tell he is trying to sell the whole like microbiome, like fix your gut and it's gonna solve everything. Like that is, he was literally like, it causes cancer, it causes autoimmune diseases, it causes horrible aging, like all of these things. And I'm like, sir, like, not to be mean, I assume having bad gut health isn't always the best for everything all the time, but I also can't imagine it's like the reason, like the sole reason why certain things are happening in everyone's body. So that's my only, like, I guess you could say like caveat to like these types of books, like all the time. It's just, it's always kind of like, I feel like they're always trying to like sell you on more than just an idea, you know? But I am really interested in the whole like healing your gut, whatever, because I've heard a lot about how your gut and like obviously like what you put into your body really impacts like your mental health and your physical health, but I guess I'm more interested in like the mental health part of it. But I'm also just still skeptical of just like how much of it is that and how much of it is like due to other things. So yes, I am enjoying that one. I'm going to read some more tonight, watch some YouTube, probably some Peter Monn. I've gotten way back into Peter Monn. I used to love him in like college and like even after college, and then I just feel like over the last couple years, I don't know, I just stopped watching him, like not altogether, but like I just like wasn't watching like as much. But I've got so invested in his vlog channel. He literally posts every day and it's like an hour or more, or a little less, but usually an hour or more vlog where he literally just like hangs out with you and like talks about like his day and like how he's feeling and what's going on, and I live for it. Like I miss his videos so much, and it's just been like so cozy. I've been putting him on while I'm like quilting. I don't know if I've ever said that on this channel, but I am trying to make my very first quilt, so it's been slow going. So last summer I was on TikTok all the time, and I somehow got on like Quilt Talk, and I saw these videos and I was like, oh my god, I feel like I could do that, and I feel like it would be such a fun cozy thing to get into in the winter. Well, the winter rolled around last year and I was not really like working on it, but like once I like got that into my head, I like went to the store, I bought this fabric, I cut all my squares, I sewed like a row and a half of the squares together after I taught myself how to sew. So I don't even have a sewing machine, and my grandpa's sister-in-law was like, I can teach you how to quilt. She quilts all the time, but she's like, you need a sewing machine. And I was like, no, like I've never sewed, like this is part of my journey, you know what I mean? Like I don't need it to be a perfect quilt, I just like almost like want to just see if I can do it at all. And so anyway, yeah, I've been having so much fun just putting like Peter Monn on in the background and just like sewing, and yeah, it's just been like so cozy and like sweet and nice. So yeah, I'll maybe do some more of that tonight, not sure. I'll update you guys all later on. So it is Tuesday afternoon and I just ran into my independent bookstore to pick up Intermezzo. Of course, it came out today. I'm so excited. I don't know exactly when I'm going to get to it, but I just knew I needed to have it. And I feel like I usually don't pick up like brand new hardback books like the day they come out, but I knew I needed to have this one, and I saved my Christmas gift card to purposely purchase this because I knew I wanted to be part of like the new book hype. I feel like I kind of did that with Beautiful World, Where Are You? I got that shipped to my house also on its release date, so I just feel like with all the Sally Rooney's, like I just have to keep doing this. But it was nice to have a gift card because I didn't really spend that much money. But anyway, so I got the book, of course. I didn't realize I was gonna get a signed copy, but like how fun, how beautiful. It's so pretty. I can't wait to get to it. If you don't know, I believe it's about a brotherly relationship and just kind of like the messiness of like the middle of your life. So there's that. But then they also had fun bookish merch, which I did not expect. I feel like the only people who ever get stuff like this are people who get like ARCs and like get the whole like shipment sent to their house and stuff. But I got a bookmark. How cutie, how cutie. I was in between this one and one that said Intermezzo Sally Rooney here, and then on the back was a guy, but I thought this one was more my taste. And then I also got a sticker, so I can't wait to put this in my Kindle cover. Like, I'm so excited. So hopefully I like the book, I guess, since I got the book and all of these cute little goodies to go along with it. But yeah, no, I cannot wait to get to it. I love a Sally Rooney, like truly, truly. I also picked up one of my 24 books for 2024. I wanted my own copy of this because it seems like something I'm gonna want to write all over and take a lot of notes on, highlight a bunch of stuff. So it's got All About Love by Bell Hooks. I feel like I've seen this everywhere. Everyone loves it. I honestly can't believe I haven't picked it up yet. But yeah, it just seems like right up my alley, if I'm being so for real. So I also got that. And then yeah, that's all I got today. I'm gonna go on home and just see. I don't really know what I'm gonna do when I get home, but yeah, I'm gonna head home. It is raining, as you can tell. It's so cozy. So yeah, hopefully I get to a lot of reading tonight, a lot of just like cozy energy is kind of like what I'm feeling this week. I think I already said that, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys all later. Hey you guys, so it is now Friday, September 27th. I'm popping on just to give you a little bit of a reading update, a little bit of a weekly update. I just don't feel like I've been super chatty with you guys this week. So in Hellbent, I am 85% through and I'm really liking it. I feel like my thoughts and feelings are kind of like the same as they were before, but I will say we finally got to a bit more action. So I feel like I was just like kind of like getting through it a little faster because I'm a little bit more invested now because I'm like towards the end. So I'm like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? What the heck? So spoilers, Darlington is now out of hell but is still acting kind of weird. And so I think they think there's still something like weird going on with him and he like knows more than like what he's letting on. So now I'm like kind of confused. I'm like, is Darlington like actually like not a good person because he murdered his parents, but he was like possessed by this like demon? And so like I don't really know, but that's part of like why it's so fun. So yeah, I definitely want to finish this tonight, I think is my goal. I don't think it'll take too long because like I said, once like the action kind of started to pick up, I feel like I just kept reading and it was like interesting actually. I can't lie though, I think right now 85% through, I think it's sitting at like a 3.25-ish star for me. I just feel like there's been something that's been kind of like keeping me from getting like fully invested. I do think it's because I read the first one like 2 to 3 years ago now, which is my own fault, my own problem, and isn't necessarily a reflection of this specific book. But I mean, it is what it is, you know? So there's Hellbent for you guys. And in the animators, I am on page 269, which means I am 70% through, which I've actually gotten a lot further in this than I would have thought. I'm still only doing the like 29-ish pages a day, and then if I like miss a day where I like don't hit all the pages, I like make up for it hopefully the next day or the next couple days or whatever. But I'm liking this like a lot more, I think, now than I was at the beginning. So the beginning was more about Mel and her kind of like backstory in life and how they wrote this animation, going over kind of like her mom and her mom's life and kind of like all the trauma that she went through. Then something so crazy happens to Sharon's health. It just like brings up all these things from Sharon's past. So they end up, you know, going back to like where she's from. They end up reconnecting with some people from her past. Some of the stuff that she's remembering that happened when she was like a younger kid is kind of like freaking her out. But they're on their way back to, I believe, New York City right now. And so I'm curious to see how the last like third of the book is gonna go, just because I do kind of feel like, I don't think it was split into like parts, but I do kind of feel like the first half was like Mel, and then it was Sharon, and now I'm kind of like, so what's the ending gonna be like? So I think it'll just be like interesting in that sense. But some of this stuff is a little dark and a little deep to be discussing, I think, with a book club that aren't like my best friends. But I am interested just to see everybody's thoughts, because I feel like the author does a really good job humanizing a lot of our characters. So you kind of like flip back and forth of like, oh yeah, I'm on their side. Oh no, I'm not. Oh yes, I am. Oh no, I'm not. Which I feel like is just very, I mean, normal to like that's human, is like making some good decisions, making other bad ones. So I am just interested to see how this wraps up. I would love to finish this weekend. Book club meets on Tuesday. Sorry you guys, it looks different. My SD card and my camera started doing this weird thing where like the timer for the recording turns red, and then even when I delete everything off the SD card or like get it off or whatever, it won't let me record, but I can still take pictures, and I still have no clue like what that's about. So I'm gonna order a new SD card, but if you know like what the heck that is or what that means or how I can fix it or get around it somehow, please let me know. But I think I was telling you about the animators and how book club for this is Tuesday night, because it's the first Tuesday of the month. So I believe that would be, yeah, next Tuesday is October 1st. I cannot believe the year is almost over. But yeah, so I would love to finish this weekend instead of carrying it all the way to Monday night. But also if I do, it's not the biggest deal ever. But I'm gonna go ahead, pop off here, order a new SD card. Hopefully that fixes my camera's problem. I even tried switching to another SD card and it was doing the same thing. So now I'm not sure if it's like the camera or both SD cards are doing that, and that's why I got the other one. I don't know. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later on. Hey you guys, so it is now Saturday afternoon. I think it's like almost 1 p.m. I am so freaking exhausted. So last night I personally did a whole lot of nothing. I cleaned the house and just like hung out, read, watched a lot of YouTube, hung out. Like, I'm pretty sure I was like asleep by probably like 10 p.m. But my boyfriend has two friends in town and they met out at the lake and they literally fished until probably like 3:30 and they got home around like 4. So I just like don't sleep well when he's not home. Like I'm up every hour, like not a good sleeper. And then yeah, of course I was woken up at 4 a.m. when they all came home, but like that's okay. But then I was up by probably like 8:30, which is like late for me, but not on a night where I'm like woken up like all the time, or I like wake up every hour. So I'm just like very tired. So I definitely plan on just like hanging out today. It's a super rainy, gloomy day again because of the hurricane. So I think we're just gonna like hang out inside, maybe take Trout on like a walk, or like let him play on the yard again. I let him play this morning and he is obsessed with his fenced-in yard, especially in like the rain and all the wind, and you know, he loves it. I will say though, our tree lost a huge limb yesterday and it broke part of our new fence, but I think we have extra pieces, so Ethan thinks it'll be like fine. He just like has to fix it and somehow like cut up this big huge giant tree and like hope it didn't break any of our neighbors' stuff. But it just felt in like his yard, so like I don't even if it like messed something up, I feel like it would be like easily fixed by us. And he's a super nice neighbor, so I don't think it would be like too big of a problem. I am still almost done with Hellbent. I really thought I was gonna finish last night, and then I thought I was gonna finish this morning when I was having my coffee, and then I still didn't. So I don't know, it's just taking me so long. Like truly, like I think I have like 20 pages left, and I still put it down. I was like, yeah, I'll get to it later. So I really do hope I finish it today. But either way, I wanted to show you guys what I got. So of course I had to stop and get a Fountain Coke, no ice. I went to Arby's because that's the easiest to get to on my way. And then I went to Tractor Supply. So Trout loves these big old kneecap things. So yeah, I got 2 of these. He's gonna be so happy, so excited. He has like a million laying around the house, but like all the like nasty gunk is like off. My rule with him is like, honestly, the grosser it is to me, the more he's gonna love it. And that's how I always pick good treats for him. And then a pack of these like little, what are these? Rib bones, which he's had before and he really likes. Just because I figure rainy day, even if we play outside a little, I don't want him to be like too bored in the house, you know? And then I got him some new toys because he loves like the crunchy toys. And he had this big pretzel toy, so it was like twisted and stuff like a pretzel, and he could like move it around and get like caught up in it, and he like loved it so much. But he's now rips it apart, and like that's fine, but it's kind of like too hard to unstuff. Like I think I'm gonna look at it today to see if I can get the stuffing out. But if I let him rip all the stuffing out, which he started to, he likes to eat it, so I can't let him do that. So I took it away. So I just kind of like feel bad, and I haven't gotten him a toy in a while. I love buying him little treats and things. He just loves them so much. So I got him this big crunchy toy, and apparently it's a trout. It's a rainbow trout toy. So he has one other toy that's a trout, but it's a Kong toy, and it's got the like plastic like shield or whatever on the outside, which he likes, but he loves the crunchy toys. So I got him this thing, and then I also got him this, which he has actually had one of these before. I call it his emo snake, but it was on sale. But I didn't realize when I bought his old one, it already had like a hole in like this side, so he basically ripped it up in like an hour. And so I had to unstuff it, and then I give him back the little carcass because he like still wants it. So I'm hoping this one will last a little longer. And it's not a pretzel, but it's kind of the same idea, like where I feel like you can get his little feet caught in it and like be a goober. So I got him that, and then I also got myself some apple licorice. It's like so good, and he doesn't want a sweet treat, and like I said, I really don't. I'll be leaving the house again today. So anyway, I am gonna go on inside, give him his new little treats and toys, let him out to go to the bathroom, and I'll talk to you guys later. Trout, come. Sit. Come. Good boy. Come. Good boy. You don't want it? Oh, yeah. Oh my god, you guys, so my water tastes like salty kind of. So I've been using those trace mineral drops that I'm sure everyone has seen on like the social media. I feel like I used to see them on TikTok all the time before I deleted the app, and I can't decide if they're actually like doing anything for like my health, or if it's just another one of those like health wellness like scams kind of. But yeah, I don't know. So I've been on that journey. So yeah, my water tastes a little goofy right now, but my SD card did come in the mail, so we're back on my camera, God bless. And I finished Hellbent like 5 minutes ago, and now I'm thinking there might end up being another book in this series, but I'm not sure because she came out with another book. I think it's called like The Familiars or something like that, like earlier this year or like end of last year, but I think it was earlier this year. So I don't know if maybe she took a break like in this series to write that one, or like what the heck. But now I'm like convinced there's gonna be a third book because of the way this one ended. I don't know, but I think my official rating is gonna be a 3-star on Goodreads and a 3.25 on Storygraph. I feel like I'm rating that for all the reasons that I have talked about in this video and my last video. I think the only thing I would have done differently with this experience was to pick it up when it first came out. So basically right when I finished the first book, or like, I feel like I finished the first book before this one came out, but I just wish I was a bit more refreshed on exactly what was going on. But I did enjoy myself. It just wasn't, I wasn't as in love as I thought I was gonna be. And for it being a book that's not in a genre I read tons of, and it being literally like almost 500 pages, I feel like it just kind of dragged a little bit for me. I cannot lie to you. I want to see though what I even rated Ninth House. Oh my god, see, yeah, I gave Ninth House 5 stars. So now I'm like, oh my god, I really wish I would have picked this one up sooner, because I feel like I would have been way more invested. I don't know, but I do recommend, like, if you read Ninth House or you plan on it, I definitely liked Hellbent as well. I just feel like you should read them a lot closer together than I did. So it looks like I read Ninth House at the beginning of 2020, and then yeah, Hellbent, it's now the end of 2024, so kind of did that one to myself, I can't lie to you, but that's okay, that's okay. Let me go ahead and update though Storygraph and then tell you some of my stats. That's my like probably favorite thing about Storygraph, honestly, is just all the stats it spits out at you, like every time you finish a book, or like every month, or however you want to look at your stats. I just think it's so much fun. This is my 47th book out of the 69 I need to read, so I am 68% done in my reading goal throughout the year, and I'm 4 books behind schedule, but honestly, I feel like that's not too bad. It also covered one of my Reading Across America prompts, so I'm now 8 prompts completed out of 50, so that's 16% through. And then this was also one of my 24 books for 2024, so I'm now 11 prompts out of 24 completed, so I'm 46% done with that. And honestly, I'm pretty proud of that. I feel like I don't usually keep up with my yearly TBRs as much as I have this year, which is bad because, like I said, I'm not even 50% through. I just feel like I make a list and kind of forget about it. But I feel like this year I've been way more eager to get to these 24 books. My average time to finish a book this year is 16 days, which I feel like is not that shocking, because I feel like I usually have more than one book. I have 2 to 3 books going at once, usually 1 Kindle, 1 physical. Lately I've had 2 physical, 1 Kindle. And so me like splitting all my time between 2 to 3 different books at a time does make it take about 2 weeks or so to finish one. And I feel like this year I've been reading longer books, which has been fun and nice and just like different than I feel like the last few years. So again, I feel like it's taking me longer to get through them. My top 3 moods this year are emotional, reflective, and dark. And I feel like this is pretty on par with what it's been in the past. Page number, I have 4% 500 plus books, 64% 300 to 499 pages, and then 32% less than 300. So I feel like last year, I want to say it was like over 50% or about 50% in the less than 300 page books. So that just shows like the difference in page numbers this year. My nonfiction is down this year though by like 5%, which is kind of weird for me, but I'm enjoying myself, so does it really matter? I don't know. So I'm 20% nonfiction, 80% fiction. And then my top 3 genres are contemporary, literary, and LGBTQIA+. And then after that, it's romance, mystery, thriller, memoir, fantasy, horror, historical. I have a lot of different genres, I guess, I have been reading from. I feel like contemporary and literary, though, have been my top 2 genres for every year since I've started Storygraph, probably. Hi, buddy. Hi, Stinky boy. Hi, Stinky. He's just come to say hi. Probably knocked my little camera off. I bought him those little kneecaps I was showing you, and he has been chewing on one all morning, and he's a happy, happy boy. I think he's ready for a nap, though. Aren't you, Buster? He said, oh, he said, yes, Mom. Good boy. Oh, what a good boy. I love you. Oh, thanks. He's so sweet. Okay, anyway, my average rating so far this year is a 3.79, which I think is probably about average for me. I truly have no clue, though. I'm very generous with my star ratings. I can't lie to you. So anyway, I am going to go ahead and pick up the animators and get to reading on today's 29 pages. And then I'm also going to go and pick out another physical book to start today. So I'll also let you in on that. So today is Saturday. I don't know if I said that at all, but I think I'm gonna make this maybe like a 2-week reading vlog or like a 1.5 week long reading vlog. I don't know. I seem to like doing that last time, so I think I'm going to do it again. So I actually just picked out my next physical book to read after Hellbent. It took me all like 5 minutes. I feel like sometimes I'm in there and it takes me 20 minutes to an hour to just pick up a new book, but for whatever reason this one was calling to me. It's called Weather by Jenny Awful. I feel like everybody has kind of already read this. It came out in 2020, so that was definitely a moment ago, but I'm so excited. I've heard nothing but really, really good things about it. So we're following this lady who, I don't know if she actually got a graduate degree or what, but right now she's working in a library where she used to attend grad school. And she's working for this podcast, answering their incoming like mail and emails. And the podcast is very like doomsday, like panic, the world is horrible and it's only getting worse kind of thing. And I think she like is supposed to answer this mail and give people like hope and inspiration and be kind of like a positive light to these people's lives. But when like her own personal life starts to go awry, I think like being a mother, a wife, it sounds like her relationship with her mom is a little rocky. And then I want to say her brother is also an addict, which she is just working through, and I think her mom's working through it. And so it sounds like maybe when she's starting to reply to these doomsday people writing into this podcast, she isn't always giving the most positive energy like she's supposed to be or something. But I heard it's really good. I heard the author is really good. She also wrote Department of Speculation, which again I've also heard is really good, and I haven't picked it up yet, so this will be my first Jenny Awful, and I'm so excited. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit in the animators, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick up Weather. I cannot wait. Hey you guys, so I am here to do a quick reading update. So I just finished the animators, which means that I have now finished 2 books this weekend, which feels super good, and I ended up giving it a 4-star on both Storygraph and Goodreads. I feel like if anything it was just a little long, but I think other than that, like, I really did enjoy my time. I think especially once you finally got to know the characters a little bit more, and then some more crazy stuff happens, and I think I'm really understanding now that this book is about friendship and grief and partnership and love and like found family, and like I almost started crying at multiple parts. So I definitely highly recommend this book. I mean, maybe like a trigger warnings, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed my time with this, and I'm kind of happy we picked it for book club. I think there's going to be a lot to discuss, so we'll see how that goes. And then in Weather, I am now 34 pages in. I'm really liking it. I'm already, you can't really tell, but I'm already tabbing it up and underlining. So yeah, I'm going to continue to read tonight, and I'll update you guys all probably tomorrow morning. Good morning, you guys. So it is Sunday, and I actually just got my morning coffee. I got a cold brew with cream. It's what I get everywhere. It makes me so happy. I've been up since probably like 6:30ish, and the coffee shop doesn't open until 8 a.m. and so I got to read a little this morning before I drove over here, which I feel so silly for doing because it's like so close to my house. Like I've walked here 1,000 million trillion times, but it's just like a little rainy, like a little sprinkle, you know. Like I definitely could have put on a rain jacket, probably not even a rain jacket, probably just like a hoodie or something, and like made my way over here, but I didn't. I drove, and who cares, you know? Like I'm having a good day. I decided I need to get up, put on just a touch of makeup, a little bit of an outfit, like not really, just like not leggings. So I have jeans on, so that makes me feel good. So I read some in, what is it called? Gut Check. The gut book that I'm reading. It's interesting. I feel like a lot of people probably learn some of the basics where you could almost like get to what they're saying based off of your own knowledge, but I feel like they don't ever like come out and explicitly say some of these things. Like I've not heard a lot of this stuff. So like about like how your nitric oxide levels, they're usually like very different in people who have like bipolar, who are diagnosed with depression, like things like that that like I've never heard, and maybe that is like a more common piece of knowledge that I just wasn't privy to, like I just didn't know it. So I'm really excited to see how this book continues to like teach me things like that, because I think that's why I'm reading it. Like I'm really interested in how your gut affects your mental health, and so I'm hoping that when I read this book, if some of the things are like true, maybe I can work on my own gut microbiome. So I hope it's going to teach us maybe whether it's like your diet or supplements or like vitamins or things you can take or do to like help your levels. But I think the issue is that it's a give and take. Like you don't want too much or too little of something. And so like I think most people's issue is gonna be, how do you know what level your gut microbiome is at anyway? I don't know how you know if you need more or less of something. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping, you know, towards the end they're going to give us some action items to figure out what your own gut microbiome looks like, or just some things that help regulate your levels of certain little things. I guess we'll see. I also am very skeptical of the gut microbiome just like talk, because it's very trendy and it has been for the last like few or more years now. And I know, so like there was a company that was trying to get you to basically, I want to say you would like ship your poop to the company, or they would send you like a testing thing at home that you would then ship back. But it was basically testing your like gut microbiome by like doing something to like your poop, like testing your poop basically. And like I was reading that, and I'm pretty sure they might have gotten in trouble for it, or they like weren't allowed to actually like sell their product in this way, that you can't make clinical decisions based off of that one gut microbiome like test, because it changes so often with like what you've eaten recently and like other things going on in your body. So I think that's the whole issue with the whole gut microbiome like talks. I'm pretty sure it changes like so much throughout like the week, the day, whatever, that I don't know how, not that it's not accurate, but unless if you're somebody that eats a very like regular diet and has like a consistent, I don't know, like routine, exercise routine, like everything, like you're a very routine person, I'm not the most sure if that test is going to be the most accurate for like what you're wanting. So anyway, moral of the story, I'm still a little skeptical of the book, but I am excited to keep reading it because it is interesting to me. I'm just not so sure how, knowing all this information, if I'm personally going to be able to change anything about my own like gut microbiome. But I'm hoping that's what it's going to teach me. And then last night I also started, I think it's called Wild Love by Elsie Silver. So I'm very confused. I cannot lie to you. So this book is connected to the Chestnut Springs series. Okay, but I think we're following more of the girls, but like I'm a little confused because when they say the girls, so like the girl Rosie, I don't know how she's connected, but Ford is like Willa's little brother or something. And so they're like kind of connected, but they're not. They're called the Rose Hill series. And you know, I'm liking it so far. I'm like 10% in or something like that, so super at the beginning. I've liked pretty much all her books that I've read in the Chestnut Springs series, besides the one was not my favorite. That was like the guy who like owned the bar where the girl like worked, and he like kept it a secret because he was trying to like save her, and like all that kind of thing. Like, that's not really like my, I don't really like that. Like, I love a boy who will like take care of you and like all that kind of thing, but I'm not into like the savior complex of it all. Like, we don't need to be doing that, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what someone is going through, they need your support and their help. They don't need to be like saved. And I did not like that. I feel like he was like secretly trying to like save her. Like, I was like, okay. And their whole relationship was just like really bonkers to me. It was just like not for me. So I'm assuming I'm gonna like this. I just feel like I think the second book, I think it's called like Wild Eyes or something like that. I think it just came out, I don't know, recently. So I don't want to get too behind on these, and I love them. Like, they're just like fun. And I'm only 3 books now behind my You're on Track for Your Reading Goal, and so I always feel like these romances that I like are usually a good way to kind of like, you know, keep up with my reading goal, because it doesn't take too long to get through them. But yeah, I'm really liking that one so far. And then I also read A Ton in Weather. I'm still really liking it. I think last night I did tell you I was tabbing it up, underlining it up. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I'm now understanding when people describe books as being like cli-fi, like climate fiction, like that whole genre, subgenre, or whatever, and like lit fic. I can't lie to you, I feel like I was always just a little confused. Like, not necessarily confused, just like kind of like, oh, I don't know if I've ever like read anything like that. Like, I don't really know. And now I feel like it's finally like connecting in my head, which is exciting. But yeah, I'm really liking this. I do feel like this was at the very start of the like depressed woman movement in lit fic that happened like COVID-ish, maybe a little before COVID. And so it's kind of interesting to like almost like go back and read some of these books that people were like obsessing over. But plans for the rest of the day, I think I am going to go to Lowe's to look at paint. I'm hopefully going to come back with some paint samples for our downstairs and possibly the book room, but I'm not totally sure yet. And then once I pick my paint color, I'm going to get my couch that I bought off Facebook Marketplace. I want to get recovered, and like a really fun plaid, because I want to bring some warmth and color back into the house, especially before fall gets way too like in the swing of it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go look at paint colors today. I'm really excited to get that done. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead though and get going. I think I'm gonna go home, let Trout out, read a little bit, and then go to Lowe's when I'm feeling a little too cooped up. Anyway, I'm gonna go. So I just got back from Lowe's. I think I was there less than an hour, but I got most things off my list. I bought a bunch of gourds and pumpkins and whatever for my freaking front porch. So right now I have regular pumpkins, and then I have 2 large gourds that I got from my farmer's market. But my farmer's market didn't have any of these little tiny things, so I got them from Lowe's. I don't know. My mom said she's gonna go to the feed mill soon, and if they have them there and they're a good price, she'll get me more. But yes, I got some cute little ones, because some of the big ones, like, they look weird if you don't have little like filler ones, you know. So I just got a few. And then I got some car air fresheners, which maybe I'll actually open now. And then I also bought some paint samples. So I got this color and this color. I feel like you guys can't really tell that well, but they are the lightest and the middle on this sheet. So yeah, let's go see if we like the green we picked. Okay, so I think we're gonna do this with the lights off, because sometimes I feel like with the lights on, everything looks a little bit goofy, but you know, we're gonna let it sit for like I don't know, a week or so I can decide if I like it with the lights off, lights on. So we're gonna do our 2 greens, and then I'm also gonna do the color of our bedroom, which is this blue color. The only fear I have about the blue, it looks very pretty upstairs, but I also don't want it to pull too gray down here with the floor, because upstairs we have carpet, so it's a little more tan than it is gray in my opinion, and so the blue looks very warm and blue, you know. I was looking for different blue paint samples. I was really struggling with the blues because I don't want it to be too gray, which discounts just so many blues in general. But the truer blues that weren't too dark, which I also don't want it to be too dark of a color, are, it must look like a baby boy's room, which I did not enjoy. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this around the house and I'll come back for the darker color. Okay, so I painted the samples onto the wall. I think I'm gonna do one more layer of both greens though, just to be sure, at least the darker green, because I think that's the one I'm leaning towards. The darker green is this bigger patch right there. That's the darker green, and I think that's what I'm going with. It just looks like a more like natural green, and I think that's what I'm going for, like a green that can be found in nature, and a very like, not a super yellowy green, but more on the yellow side than on the cooler side. Yeah, I'm so excited that I think we picked, but I do need to talk to Ethan just to like double check. I feel like he usually doesn't care too much about what I do. I assume if I picked something like so nuts, he would be like, no ma'am. But yeah, no, I'm so excited. I think that's gonna be what it is. I really do, and I'm so excited. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here on the couch, eat my Flaming Hot Cheetos, and watch YouTube and hang out. And I probably should make like a real meal soon, but here I am sitting here. So yeah, I'll update you guys all later on today probably. Hey you guys, so I am here to end the vlog because I just finished Weather by Jenny Awful. I really enjoyed my time with it. I think I'm gonna give it a 4-star on Goodreads, and then maybe like a 4.25 on Storygraph, I think. If I'm being honest, I think the only thing holding me back from giving it like a full 5-star is honestly, I just don't know how long it's gonna stick with me. So it's told in little chunks like this, and as you can see, I did underline quite a bit. So I did really like it, and it really made me giggle, and it made me feel very anxious and tense about, I feel like, just our planet and our world and all the horrible things that happen every day, all the time, and how with the internet we're constantly just force-fed all of the horrible things that could ever happen to you and everyone you love, like every day, all the time, which in a way I feel like is making the younger generations, like with every generation that comes, like more and more caring of those around them. But also I'm still not fully convinced that humans were meant to be fed with that much, especially like negative information all the time. But I guess you can say that about like positive or like funny, silly, like information as well, like information that makes you feel like good or whatever. Like I would say like TikTok, like all the funny TikToks or whatever, how everyone's kind of like addicted to like just the constant like need to like get things, get information, laugh, be turned on all the time. So I just feel like it made me anxious about all of those types of things, and things I feel like I already feel anxious about. But yes, it did make me giggle. I really did like my time. I guess we'll see as time goes on, like if it does stick with me, maybe I should have given it a 5-star, because I was between like a 4 and a 5-star, and I'm still like, maybe I will give her 5. Maybe I will. I'm not sure, because I really did like it. So I guess moral of the story, I don't really know. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it, but it's gonna be between a 4 and a 5-star probably. I am ending the vlog here. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time.